in the States. And today, well, we're at the culmination of a long, long journey. This is the Stratuguese, my 70s sort of inspired Stratocaster project I've been building for way too many years. Look at that. And the story behind this goes, I looked at a relict Stratocaster of unknown origins, and when I got there, it's pretty much just a Squire that had been sandpapered and stuff, but it was kind of heavy, and it had a bit of soul to the pickups that were in it at the time. And it was like an hour away from my house, so I didn't want to leave empty-handed because even though I was, set with it, I still liked the guitar. It was a mongrel. But it was ugly as sin, and it was one of the worst relic jobs I've ever seen. Don't relic at home without, do some research, right? So, anywho, then I decided I wanted to do a Portuguese guitar because my family's actually Portuguese. I grew up in a very Portuguese town, actually, on Cape Cod in Massachusetts, in the United States. So I decided to do it as the Stratuguese with a matching headstock, Portuguese flag here. At the end of the video, I'll talk more about how I built it, but as it came together like this, yay! And then you can actually see here in these photos, or in these pictures up close, I just recently installed a set of GFS Goldfoils in it, and these actually have GFS's Kwikplug system, so they went in super easy, and if you're more interested in that, I have a video online kind of documenting how that process went. There's my Stratuguese logo. It does have the Fender logo, but it also has Stratuguese. Gold vintage style Fender tuners, matching headstock with a little chip taken out of the end. When you have projects that sit idle for the better part of 4 years, stuff happens to them wherever they live. There's this. She still could use to have one more big buff out, but she works, she makes noise, she plays, she stays somewhat in tune. So we're going to do a quick demo. Gold Mexican style Fender bridge, gold knobs on those. I had a gold knob for this flip switch, but it didn't fit the shaft post. Couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle the post. Couldn't handle the shaft. So there's a white one on there now. I'm going to try and file or do something to get that one to fit better. And the aforementioned gold foils, which are actually a chrome pickup, but with the gold filler, I think it works with the gold. Because the Portuguese people like to put, at least my family, tends to, if a little too much is just about right. And I think that's where we sit on here in this thing. With a trem, you can see 3 springs. This is a small block because it was just the bridge that I bought came with a small one. I'm going to swap this out for a large brass block at some time. The same time I do that, I will probably also pull the pickguard off and shield it. So that's that. But for clean, we're going into the PB Bandit. Neck position on this, these are the gold foils. So gold foil pickups, it's the first time I've played GFS's set of gold foils. Punchy though, bright, fun, kind of cool. Middle. Nice, all right? Gives that nice little quackiness there. And the bridge. So kind of nice. Plays well. I like these pickups. They're like how I imagine a nice punchy. Yet I mean it's got the bridge specifically. got a certain like high-end punch to it. And very nice, you know, from neck to bridge, that kind of stuff. And then of course you've got your like Texas. Something like that. She's fun, and actually she set up pretty quick. I adjusted truss rod on the neck because it had been sitting for a bit. There's a good spot. Right here, folks, there are the dangers, the myths, the legends, the horrible things that happen when you sand through your finish and get to the primer coat. And when it's on the back of the guitar, and when you're tired of working on something, you leave it. That's how it goes. She's not perfect by any means, but she's a lot of fun. It's gotten a lot of interest from my Portuguese subscribers, viewers, that kind of stuff. And she's nice. But what I like about these pickups is they go in super quick. So these required, the only thing I had to solder, because I didn't have a lead, was I soldered the ground to the claw here in the back. Everything else was quick connect snapped in with little like headphone jacky looking things. Which means that I was able to swap out the pickups that were in this, put this entire set back in and put it all back together in less than a half an hour. You can watch my other video again, plug for that. Which makes life for project-y stuff like this a hell of a lot easier, right? Like, that's awesome. And it's awesome because then you can do more fun stuff like rig setup. PV Bandit 112 playing to the clean side with a little bit of reverb. I'm going to turn down just a smidge of the reverb. Going into TC Electronics Polytune 2, which we just retuned again because everything's settling in. MXR Custom Badass 78 Distortion. Electro Harmonics Soul Food. Joyo California Sound for the big hairy stuff. And a Hall of Fame reverb that's sitting there doing nothing, looking pretty. But what's nice is if you put it in one of the middle positions, that's the badass. That's kind of nice. That's in a second from the bottom. If I bring it up here, second from the top, also hum canceling. Glassy, kind of punchy, fun. I like that. If I go right to the bridge. Nice little slinkier side of the 70s stuff with my normal drive here. And I'm only about half or a quarter way up output in distortion just left to center. If I could make that a little bit angrier. Get that? It's that 70s kind of spot. It's a Strat. It's really how it is. Try and man that up a little bit with it. She's fun. I like it. In some of those settings, I don't know whatever we cut out or put in. A little knifey, a little sharpy, but I think in a mix, she'll do that. She's a Stratocaster. She's not a Les Paul. She must be treated with respect, with a different set of gloves. And at the end of the day, what is there in guitardom, in the land of specialness that is guitars and all the stuff that we like to do around here, that is as modifiable, as personalizable than a Stratocaster? You know, Les Paul, you can have uncovered pickups, zebras, solid colors, all white, 3 pickups, whatever. Change your truss rod cover. Ooh, and I'm a Les Paul guy. I'm not knocking you guys. It's me too. But like, you can change a pick guard, which is a big impression. You could just do a port, like you have a solid red or a solid green Strat. Do just the Portuguese flag pick guard in the middle of it to make your statement about your heritage, or Italian flag, or Irish, or whatever, or you know, Western Kentucky, and it's yours. Never mind matching headstocks and different painted bodies and all that stuff. Like a Strat is designed, meant to be messed with, in my opinion. Anyway, last thing, I promised I'd say at the beginning, how to do this? Pretty simple. Water slide decals. You can buy them for your inkjet printers. You basically print out the image you want to do. You cut it out. You seal it with some sort of sealant, whether it's like poly or enamel or nitro or whatever. When that dries, you then can get it wet, put it in place, and you basically pull out the paper backing on it. So in this case, I had a white, solid white one. You can do them clear or white. My printer doesn't print white, so I did it white. Cut out basically this circle, lined it up on the pickguard where I wanted it to go, printed out a bunch of normal paper, cut it out, got the sizing and stuff set right. Once I knew that it would all fit and look cool there, I then marked off where I thought the line would be, painted the pickguard 2 colors, and then was able to water slide this back on here. And then once I put the pickguard in place, I could mask off where on the body I wanted to mask it to paint it the 2 colors. If you're going to do solids on a Strat or anything, make sure you do a primer coat in white first. It allows the colors just to be a little easier. The whole thing is then cleared with nitro, nitrocellulose lacquer finish on both the guard and on the body, buffed out and polished, although this one needs to be polished a bit more. But that's how I did it. So really, this is the only part that's printed. I didn't have to paint it, didn't have to do anything. And then I seal back over the whole thing. And, you know, up close you can see that it might not be the best job, but actually it's really not bad. But from the stage, from where this is going to make an impact, from all my stage work, but where you would want something like this to make an impact like that, or on YouTube like this, it looks pretty damn cool. And I'm digging it. At some point, we'll put a larger block in. I'll do a video on that, see if we can capture before and after tones. I have no clue if that's going to show anything. But it does make subtle differences when you play it. And then I'll probably shield the cavities, although this one right now is really not that lousy, not that noisy at all. Anyway, I've talked long enough. I'm Nick in the States. Yes, sir, and ma'am, I do have issues. Thanks for letting me share them with you. Take care.